live. Hey, hey. Testing, testing. Hey, hey, hey. See here. Okay, there we go. Welcome. Welcome to the live, guys. Good to have you. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Let's see who's the first one in the building. Who's the first person? Leave a comment so I know. You guys are quiet today. Is that me? Huh. That is weird. There we go. There we go. Welcome. Hey, Jennifer. There we go. Welcome to the live, guys. I was having some technical difficulties. I couldn't see the comments, but we're back. Cool. Welcome to the live, everyone. Let's get a quick shout out to everyone in Jamaica. Let me know where you're at, so I'll give you guys a quick shout out. Shout out to Jamaica. King's Will is from Jamaica. Shout out to you, brother. We got Love of Tupac from New York. Welcome. We got Terry from Texas. Shaquille is from North Carolina. Acha from Vancouver, Canada. This is amazing. So we got a good amount of people. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up because this is a tight-knit group. I consider you guys family, and I love, love, love having these conversations. So let's get the likes up. I appreciate it. Real quick before we jump into it, who's the person from H-Town? Carrie. Carrie, type in and let me know what part of Houston you're in. Let me know what part of Houston you're in. Appreciate it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So what I typically do is I'm going to go over the questions. So typically first come, first serve. But what happens is that the questions are going to get busier. So we're going to have more people. So initially, definitely to start, I'm going to go first come, first serve. If you want to skip the line, you can make a donation. I definitely read the super chats as they come in. So if you really have a question that you need to get answered, go ahead and send a super chat or make a donation and send your question with the super chat so I can answer your question. Also, if you just want to support me, I appreciate it. Go ahead and send a super chat. It means so much. By the way, let me tell you, I just got this chair. Well, you can't really see it, but anyway, it's a cool chair. My last chair kind of failed on me, so I appreciate it. Because of your support, I was able to go get that new chair. So thank you all so much. And without further ado, we're going to jump into it. Let me do some quick shout outs and then I'll start looking at the questions. Shout out to Carrie in Houston, Texas. We got Terry in Texas. Gary's from Denver, Colorado. Joshua's from Arkansas. Wade from Pennsylvania. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. We got Demigod from Nigeria. Thank you all. Okay, cool. And Mash is from Galena, Illinois. Okay, so if I missed anyone, apologies. A lot of these comments were coming in, but thank you all so much for being here. We're about to hop into the questions right now. Go ahead and leave a like if you support the channel. It truly, truly does mean a lot. Thank you all so much. All right, so let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, the first question is going to be Andrea says, I'm worried he will see my comments. Over here? You think your ex is following over here? It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's probably not likely that your ex knows you're here. So feel free to leave a comment, okay? Feel free to leave a comment. R says, My ex reached my ex reached me a lot of times saying, "Talk to me." Should I talk to her, sir? I'm in no contact. She's like, "You're ignoring me." Well, Mr. R, the question is, what do you want? That's the big question, R, because no contact is not about me. No contact is about you and what you want for your life. So, that being said, if you want to be with her, if you still have feelings for her, then if she's reaching out to you, she's pursuing you, then you can respond. The key is you don't want to be a doormat. You don't want to be available forever, right? You don't want to sit there having a conversation with her back and forth without actually making plans to see each other in person. So, R, my recommendation is that you don't ignore her if you want her back. Okay. And I'm guessing that you want her back since you're asking this question. Okay. Let's get the likes up to everyone in the room. Thank you. If you support, go ahead and send a like. Thank you. So we can get some more people in here. Let's get this conversation going. Okay. Mar Marwinado says, what if my ex is using no contact on me? That's a great question. That's a great question. So this is something that a lot of people ask all the time. Remember, when I say no contact is a mindset. Okay. The problem is no contact is so popular, and a lot of people take no contact as some kind of game and just this weird strategy. Remember, it is you holding the line. It's a mindset of you holding the line, telling your ex, I will not be mistreated. It's you saying, I will be respected. And it's you also saying the only type of relationship I want with you is a romantic relationship. And so, no contact typically only applies to the person that got dumped because you're the one that is getting disrespected in a sense. You're the one that your ex changed the terms of the relationship on. So it makes no sense for your ex to be in no contact. They just left. So if they're not talking to you, it's not because they're in no contact. It's because they likely just don't want to talk to you right now. Right? So a lot of people confuse no contact. No, this is your stance. This is your line in the sand saying, if you don't want more than friendship with me, if you don't want a relationship with me, well, I'm going to go my own way and go about my business. That's all this is. So in most cases, your ex is not in no contact. They're just not talking to you. Okay, Joshua Williams says she came to a game where I was at. Is that breaking no contact? Sat three seats down. No, that's not breaking no contact. If you guys are in the same school, I'm guessing, and so you have sporting events together, maybe even go to the same class. That's not breaking no contact. She just happened to be at a game. The key is don't act weird. Don't come off bitter. If you're in a position where it would make sense to say hello, right? If you're stuck in the elevator together and you're looking around trying to avoid eye contact, don't do that. Just act natural, be cool. All right. There you go. Khalid or Khalid. All right. And my ex just broke up with me. We've been together for 6 years. I helped her take care of her son. Think she'll be back. Well, I need more information, right? Exes do come back a lot of the times, and that's why no contact is very effective. But just that those couple of lines alone is not enough for me to know her state of mind. Like, what caused the breakup? What did she tell you? Um, I mean, 6 years is a long time, right? But sometimes it depends. Was the relationship toxic? Were you guys fighting all the time? Was it a good relationship for the most part? Things like that. So there's a lot of information missing. Let's see here. Oh, scroll too fast. We go back. All right, Jennifer says, I think I was the rebound. Haha. He left me and went back to his ex. Does the relationship usually work out? They were together 3 years and he and I 6 months. I mean, so obviously he has a stronger bond and connection with her. So, it's a good chance that that relationship could work because now, unless they didn't fix the issues, and you wouldn't know what their issues were and why they broke up and how things are working out now. But obviously, he has a stronger emotional connection with her. That's why it was easy for him to just circle back. So if I was you, I'd be focusing on my own personal journey for right now. I'd be focusing on just improving the things you can. And when people say work on yourself, I know it gets old, it gets cliche, but it's true. Whatever it is that you can control about your life, whatever it is that you can change and improve, even if it's just one thing, guess what? You just made your life that much better. You just made your life that much better, and that's going to translate into more options. Okay, so that might be career wise, that might be fitness wise. There's a lot of things that we could all individually work on. So that's what I'd be doing if I was you, Jennifer. Thank you for your question. Vivid Visual said, broke no contact yesterday. How could you? You betrayed me, my friend. What should I do now? Been ten months since the breakup. Okay. We were together 6 years, only been able to make it 2 to 3 months before I break. Okay, so you keep breaking no contact. You keep breaking no contact, and so you are always setting yourself back. There's a story in Greek mythology, and hopefully I don't get this wrong. It's the story of Sisyphus, and Sisyphus was this, you know, king in ancient Greece, right? And basically, he would always outsmart the gods. He would always outsmart the gods, and he managed to cheat death in different scenarios. I can't remember what the stories were, but he managed to cheat death twice. And so obviously the gods were annoyed, frustrated, like, how does he keep outsmarting us? And so Sisyphus, eventually, when the gods caught up to him, they gave him a punishment, and his punishment was to roll a rock up a mountain, right? He's going to roll this rock, this boulder up a mountain, and he would roll it, roll it, roll it. And as soon as he would get to the top, the boulder would just roll back down. And that was his punishment. He would just go up and down into eternity. So the punishment itself is not difficult, but it's the repetitive nature and the cycle of having to do that over and over and over again that makes the punishment one of the most sad and miserable uh, things that has ever been captured in human history. Or, I mean, it's a myth, but it's a great story. Point is, the reason I bring that up is you're spinning your own wheels. You're setting yourself back every time you pick up that phone and you shoot her a message. If there was a chance of fixing things, guess what? You just killed it. And the more you do that, the more you get into that cycle, the more likely that you're going to ruin all your chances with her. So do not betray the cause anymore. Don't break no contact. You'll be fine. It's been 10 months. At this point, all you can do is start afresh. Today's a new day. So you broke yesterday. Likely you didn't get a positive response. So I would be moving on, my friend. I'll be moving on. And at this point, if she doesn't reach out to you, I would never reach out to her ever again. Okay. Caitlin, my ex broke up after 4 months. Uh, the day before, she was talking about our future, and then Sunday, it was friends only. I begged for a day and went no contact for 19 days. Will I hear from her? I mean, I'm not a psychic, all right? I need a little more information. What caused the breakup? And just because she's telling you the day before, talking about the future, that really doesn't mean anything. What's more important is what is the relationship like at that time? Is she affectionate with you? Is there any hand holding? Is there kissing? Is the relationship physical in nature? Right? You guys having sex? Are you flirting? All of those things are key indicators of where your ex is at. Typically, before a breakup, you'll notice that all of those things are on the decline, and those aren't good signs. But either way, no contact for 19 days. Good job. Just almost at 3 weeks. That's not nearly long enough, but I would be patient. But if you really, really need help, for us to go into specific details, you can book a session, book a coaching call, and we can talk. But I just need a little more information. All right. Let's see. Demigod says, we already had a breakup, but kept she kept she kept the promise ring. I'm guessing that's what you're trying to say. She won't put it on and she won't give it back to me or throw it away. Why is that? She's dating the guy that she cheated on me with. Dude, you should be completely, completely forgetting about her. All right. If she cheated on you, your self esteem has to say you deserve someone that's going to be loyal, someone that's going to be with you, someone who is not going to risk and jeopardize the relationship just for momentary pleasure. Now, she's with this guy, so obviously she's choosing to stay. So I wouldn't care about that ring unless there's some kind of financial value to the ring. It is what it is. It's a gift. Let her have it. I wouldn't ask her for it. I wouldn't contact her for any reason. She cheated on you. And I'm not saying people cannot come back from cheating, but you must not be the one chasing her. I mean, you can get through anything, but it needs to be both parties willing to work on the relationship together, my friend. Let's get the likes up. If you're just joining, welcome. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. I'm going down all the questions. So if you sent the questions, I'm still at the top, but I will get to as many questions as possible tonight. I'm determined. So I'm going to get to as many questions as possible. But if you want to skip the line, if you have a pressing question that you want to send, make a donation. And that's going to be a super chat. So your question is going to pop to the top. And I will prioritize the donations and answer those questions. And also, if you just want to donate to me, I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's go. The next question is from Ivan. Ivan says, she called me after 3 months to tell me that after she's gonna go through what she's going through, she will call me back. Why? Well, she's likely just trying to dangle the carrot and see if you still have feelings for her. Because if she's back in 3 months and she wanted to work things with you, she would just stay and work things with you right then and there. But she's telling you, she's getting you riled up and she's saying, hey, at some later date in the future, so, after I've dealt with all my trauma, then we can get together. Sounds like to me, she's just trying to keep you on ice. I wouldn't put your life on hold. You can be open if she comes back to work on things with her, but I wouldn't put my life on hold if I was you. Okay. Yvonne says, how can you go no contact when you have a baby together? I tried, and he said he was going to take me to court. I just want to detach emotionally. How can I do that? Well, unfortunately, you don't get to not talk to your child's father completely. I mean, you can minimize it. Maybe you guys have a schedule, and typically the court system will take care of this. But if you need a lawyer, if you guys can't come to terms together, figure out a schedule that works for the both of you. Maybe he has your child every weekend. And so that way, there's no need for unnecessary communication. There's no need to text back and forth and all of this stuff. So set that up. And that way, maybe he just picks up once a week. You help, organize that, and that's it. So you can have minimal contact with him, but you don't get to just completely cut him off. Remember, you know, when you're in no contact, you really don't want to come off as someone who is bitter. right? You don't want to come off like you're just upset with your ex and that you're angry. That's the only reason why you would be ignoring him. At least that's how he's going to feel. So if you have a kid together, allow him access to the kid for sure. That at least makes you look mature and responsible. Okay, that's what I would do. Okay, next question is from Kobe. My ex and I should be meeting soon to talk about things after 60 days of no contact. Cool. Uh, I know the best way to present myself is to be confident, but what else should I do? What should I say? Just relax. Just relax. Be present. Okay. The only reason why you'll stumble is when you make this meeting out to be more than what it is, right? Because the only reason why you're anxious, afraid, is because you've assigned a certain meaning to this meeting, right? You've assigned that, okay, if this meeting goes well, then this. The truth is, the future doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist, neither does the past. All you have is this present moment. And that's what you should be focusing on when you're with her. If your mind is somewhere drifted into the future, then you're going to miss the opportunity. So be present, be confident, allow her to communicate with you, try to be fun, but don't turn into a clown, trying to um, make her happy or whatever. Just be in the moment. Have a conversation, try to have a good time with her, and allow her to earn you back as well. You should also come in with a little bit of skepticism. Come in with a little bit of skepticism and be looking to hear what she has to say to you. Okay, we got first super chat from D Will. Thank you, D Will, for the $5 super chat. No question. Appreciate it, brother. You're the man. I'm guessing D Will is a dude, but but thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Next question is from let's see here. Nick Crawford. Did I mess up? I did no contact for a month and she reached out to me. That sounds like a positive to me. That sounds like a win. So what did you do after she reached out? What did you do? Did you set up a face to face? That's what you should have done. But if you didn't do that, maybe wait for the next time she reaches out. When she does, set up a face to face. All right, Mason Young says, does no contact work if she left you for everything you did? What did you do? See, people are always vague and people say, oh, well, she left me because of what I did. What did you do? What I found, and I'm not saying that some people who get dumped don't deserve it. That's not the case. But what I've realized and what I've seen from coaching a lot of people is when you get dumped, people tend to internalize all of the issues. And all of a sudden, your ex is a perfect angel and you're the one at fault for everything, when in most cases, that just isn't true. So, if you did something wrong, it doesn't mean you can't come back from it. But I would like to know, what exactly did you do, my friend? Madeline Hawelu with the $5 super chat. Thank you. No question. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love, Madeline. You're amazing. You are amazing. Thank you. All right, let's see here. Oh, I skipped. Gotta scroll back. Oh, I'm behind. All right, let's see here. Hmm. Top boy. Top boy says, "Hey coach, argument problem with my partner, and she needed to break up. Then I begged and pleaded. Now I gave her the breakup and going no contact. Please answer me. What's your question? But good job. I mean, you're doing what you're supposed to do. She broke up with you. You begged and pleaded initially, but now you've accepted it, and now you're giving her the breakup. Good job, my friend. That's all you can do right now. Let's see if she reacts or if she responds. King's Will says, how do you do no contact if your ex lives in the same building? Well, you got to live somewhere. So all you can do is continue your life. And if you run into her in the building, be cordial. Do not chase after her. Do not force unwanted conversations. And if you're intelligent, I mean, you can feel when someone doesn't want to talk to you, and you shouldn't be initiating conversation in the first place. So, for example, if you live in the same building, the only time where you're likely forced to talk to her, let's say you guys are in the elevator together, or you're walking down the same hall at the same time, and in those types of cases, I would just say hello. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, have a great day. Something like that. You don't have to stop and have a conversation unless she does. All right, next question is from Victoria Norris. Shout out to Victoria. Thank you for all the comments. I do see you in the comments a lot, and thank you for all the support. I think you donated before. I appreciate it, Victoria. Let's see your question. I saw my ex in the club. He told me he will always love me, kissed me, and was dancing all up on me the next day. I texted him. He said one word or didn't respond at all. I texted him. He said one word or didn't respond at all. So how many times were you texting him? But anyway, so the issue with your situation, remember I said, your ex should be doing the initiating. If they want to talk to you, they should be driving all of that. They should be pushing towards you. It sounds like he did, right? Because he told you he will always love you, which is a nice thing to hear. But remember, you're at a club, there's drinks involved. So he's likely not even completely in the right state of mind. So you need to take everything he says with a grain of salt. You shouldn't, just because he says, "Oh, I love you," you shouldn't be like, "Oh, shoot, we're back together." So if you take what he's saying with a grain of salt, then you wouldn't have let him kiss you. And the whole dancing up on you, you shouldn't have let that happen either. If he wants to see you, he needs to take you on a date. So that's the problem. You were just a little too invested than you should have been at that point. So yeah, just go back, no contact, and let's see if he reaches out to you again. John Tofi, I unfollowed my ex. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that because if you think about it, right, most of the time, because I talk to so many of you, and the reason and the fact that you're asking that question tells me this is a big thing, right? Big picture. What you do doesn't really matter, okay? Let me explain what I mean, okay? So if you're in no contact, great, that's amazing. But big picture, right? What you do, at least it doesn't matter as much as your intentions behind what you do. And so when I read that text, I can see the intentions behind it, at least what I perceive to be the intention. And so does your ex. When you unfollow your ex because you're trying to get their attention, you're trying to get a reaction, you're angry, you're trying to do something because you haven't heard from them, that's what makes you look weak. That's what makes you look unattractive. That's what makes you look bitter. So your intention is the most important thing. Big picture, you should be in no contact. But when you start thinking about things you want to do or not do, really sit down and dig deep. I want you to at least spend 5 to 10 minutes and say, why do I want to do this? Right? One of the common ones I see is, oh, I need to get my stuff from my ex. That's fine. If you really need the stuff, get your stuff. But ask yourself before you send that text message, why do I have to get this stuff from them? And why do I need it now? Because in some cases, like, oh, I just have some clothes at her house. You're attention seeking. You're trying to force communication in most cases. And again, that's unattractive. It just is. So, John, it's not a big mistake. I wouldn't have done it, but it's almost like breaking no contact, honestly. But it is what it is. It's done. It's not a huge deal, but I just wouldn't have done it. So just stay no contact from now on. Stop doing stuff. Just wait. Uh let's get the likes up. Everyone who's joining, get the likes up. If you want to ask your question, if you want to skip the line, make a donation, send a super chat, and I'll get your question. All right, but cool. But we're We are going. We're getting more questions. Thank you for everyone here, by the way. All right, let's see here. Camo Jello says, my ex contacted me after I did the no contact. Cool. But I refused to meet up with him because what if I screw up and say things that make him leave me again? So, what should I do or say when we meet? Okay, so one, you refuse to meet up, so you missed the opportunity. So, let me tell you a story. All right, this is a story of just most of us. I'm sure most of you probably dealt with this as kids, um, but so I was listening to, I can't remember where I had heard this, but it was a very powerful story that stuck with me. And this guy was talking about how when he was a kid, anytime he would get a gift from friends or family, like cookies or like chips or anything like that, whenever he would get these things, he would keep it. He would store it because he didn't want to eat it because he was excited about the gift and he didn't want to lose it. Right. So he wouldn't eat the cookies. So he'll keep it for months and months. And like he had this whole storage and big cupboard full of cookies. Right. But anyway, what would end up happening is after a while, the cookies would go stale. And so even though he had the cookies physically, he lost the cookies anyway. So I say that to you so you recognize, and this helps you to overcome fear. Because at the end of the day, if you don't participate, if you don't get out there, if you're scared because you're trying to hold on to this illusion of not ruining things, at the end of the day, you're going to ruin things. Okay? You got to participate in your own rescue. You got to participate in making your life what you want it to be. And so, my friend, take the risk. Go on the date. See what happens. Don't have so many expectations. Just go. Be present and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, my friend. All right. Next question is from Van Shika. Van Shika Tade says, we broke up 15 days ago. Okay. We are in no contact. I totally abandoned him because he broke up, but I want him back. What should I do? I miss him a lot. How did you abandon him? What do you mean? You just mean you haven't reached out to him? Okay, I'm gonna make some assumptions. So you mean you haven't reached out to him because he broke up with you? Well, at the end of the day, if he wanted to talk to you, he would reach out. Now, if he's been reaching out to you and you're ignoring him, that's a different story. I don't recommend that. But if he broke up with you and he hasn't said a word, then just continue doing what you're doing. Remember, it doesn't matter how much you miss your ex, it matters how much they miss you. Because guess what? When they left you, you likely loved them a lot. They knew that you would miss them if the relationship ended, but they didn't care. So, how you feel, you always got to recognize that it's not about how you feel, it's about how they feel. Okay. You always got to remember that. This is just human nature. You always got to be looking at other people's needs and figuring out what you can do to position yourself to give people what they need. Okay. And it's weird because you're in no contact, but what will happen is when he starts to miss you, guess what? He would need or he would want to be around you. And then he would have no choice but to reach out to you. So be patient with it. Mason Young, I don't think I've answered a question from you. When your ex tells you they need to work on themselves, is that what they're really doing, or is that a front? And if they do no contact, and does no contact work with this situation? Yeah, it can work with this situation, absolutely. But when your ex tells you that they're working on themselves, a lot of times they don't mean it literally. It just means that they need space from the relationship. In most cases, why? Why do you think most exes tend to say the same things? How many exes have you heard? And I bet a lot of people in the comment can tell you, oh, my ex said they want to work on themselves. It's a cliche, but it's something someone can say that you can't really argue with. Like, what are you supposed to do? They say, oh, I want to work on myself. What are you supposed to do to that? Right? So it's a comfortable cliche that people say that just gets you to accept the breakup and leave them alone in most cases. All right. And even if they have to work on themselves, that's not reason for a breakup. That's not a good enough reason to leave someone that you're in love with. Most people wouldn't. Okay. I don't know what currency this is in, but 200 something. It's a this is from R. I think, yeah, I don't even know. So I'm not gonna try what currency that is. Let's see here. My ex reached, I'm gonna say my ex reached out to me many times, but we can't meet because of her exams. Okay. Says she's free to meet in March. From now, can I message her first or let her start the convo? She's like, you only reply and don't chat. Yeah, I would still let her lead the initiation, unless she starts to complain about it a lot, and then you can what you should do at that point is when she reaches out, schedule a phone call. If you guys can't see each other, do a phone call or a FaceTime. Okay, that will help you um, at least connect, bond, and connect until you can see each other in person. But I wouldn't go crazy just because she promised to see you in March. That's still a ways away. You want mystery. Now, is she texting you every single day? Be busy. Tell her, oh yeah, great to hear from you. I'm working on this. I'm working on that. But that's what I would do. I would be busy. But if she keeps on reaching out, schedule a phone call. That's fine. Do a phone call or a FaceTime. That way you guys can connect for like maybe once a week for like 30 minutes, something like that. I wouldn't do much more than that though. You don't want to get into chasing her. Don't do it. Okay, let's see here. Uh, D Will. D Will says we broke up January 5th after 4 years and we're supposed to get married January 15th. Wow. I cheated and got a picture from another girl trying to help a friend. Okay, I apologize for stuff and just left on red. I'm guessing you mean she left you on red. Okay. So you cheated because you had pictures from another girl. I'm not saying that's not cheating, but if you guys were getting married in 2 weeks, sounds like something you may have been able to work through. But it depends on the person. And I mean, so if that's a deal breaker for her, it's a deal breaker. I would ask at this point, what have you done to make it right? You shouldn't be asking for pictures from another girl, even to help a friend, you know. And I'm not trying to say that didn't happen. I'm just trying to show you what her perspective is going to be like. It's going to be very hard to just for her to just take that at face value. So I would say if you've tried everything to make it right, you've called her, you've apologized, and you've tried to work on things with her, and she's not biting, then I would go into no contact at that point. I'm sorry, that's a tough one because you guys were supposed to get married. So let's see. Remedy. Remedy says I've been in no contact now for 15 days. But I said things I did not mean or wanted to ever say out of my feelings being hurt, and I'm blocked on everything. Is there a chance they unblock and message me? It's not impossible. It's not impossible at all. People say things when they're angry all the time. And if you're blocked on everything, there's not really much more that you can do or that you should do. Yeah, I would wait. I would give it some time. And if you know, like, depending on what happened, like, I wish I had more information, but if you know that you completely crossed the line with the things that you said, at some point you can potentially look at sending a letter after significant time has passed. But I would like to know the context of what was said, right? Um, and were you saying things in response to what they did in the first place? Okay, but that's the only other out or option I would even consider, but only after some time has passed for sure. Okay, K Mike with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it. He says, ex cheated. I go no contact. He messaged me 6 months later to wish happy birthday. I reply with thanks. Then he's apologizing. I reply, okay, sure, thanks. 2 months later, he texts me, I miss you. He calls, I never answer. Yeah, well, if you're done, if you're just completely done, that's understandable. Like, because for some people, cheating is a complete deal breaker. And I don't blame you. I totally do not blame you at all. And so if cheating is a complete deal breaker, there's really nothing to talk about. But just to play devil's advocate here, you are in this chat room or in this live, you're asking a question and you donated. So I'm thinking that you care about him. And if that's how you feel, I would say maybe you need to have a conversation with him. Maybe you need to see just what exactly he has to say to explain himself. If you're still open to it, my gut tells me that you might be, but that's really a personal decision. I completely understand how cheating could be a deal breaker, though. Let's see here. CR says, had ex blocked for a couple of months, unblocked recently just to let go. He watched my story a couple of times and then blocked me. What does that mean? I didn't do anything or look at his stories. Well, a lot of times exes block you and do all those things to get your attention, right? So if your ex is randomly blocking your story, a lot of times it's either because you're not talking to them or they notice something that you did or something that you posted and they're reacting to it emotionally. So that's a positive sign of interest. Like they likely still have some interest. So I wouldn't do anything though. Okay, so let's see here. Mm-mm. That's the name. It's mm-mm. That's a cool name, by the way. Messed up, broke no contact at day 10, asking him how he was doing. He's been texting me every day since, but not about us. Dropped off some food he cooked outside my house without seeing me. I'm confused. Well, you're confused because you're participating in your own waste of time. I understand it's hard to detach from your ex because you formed a bond, you formed an attachment, but you got to ask yourself, do you want to be talking to your ex confused, distraught, not knowing if you're ever going to fix things with them? Or do you want to take the time and space to heal yourself so you can get over this and likely get them to come back to you? Because if he's talking to you, I'm sure he still has some feelings, but you're making it too easy. You're making it to where he gets to talk to you whenever he wants without commitment. Why should he commit? So I wouldn't do that if I were you. You need to actually do no contact. All right, Chris Johnson with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. He says, my ex and her brother blocked me. Her brother recently unblocked me, and he's like a brother to me too. Okay. I want my ex back. Should I not call him too? Yeah, you can't call him. You're in no contact. That's a family member. Anything you say can and will be used against you with your ex. Okay, so you shouldn't be talking to her brother. I know he's like a brother to you. I know you care about him, but you need the distance. And look, when you guys broke up, his first instinct was to block you. So you already know where his loyalty lies. Even though he unblocked you, that's okay. I wouldn't do anything though. Nothing to do, my friend. Verena says, met a guy online a year ago and we were to meet in person this June. He disappeared on me 3 times now. The last time he disappeared for 3 months, he's gone silent again. What should I do? Nothing. If someone's disappearing on you consistently, the reality is he doesn't have the same level of feelings that you do. This is the problem with us as human beings, and I do it, and most people do it. When we really like someone, we tend to project how we feel about them to them. And so we tend to apply positive things to the things that they're doing, which may have nothing to do with how they actually feel about us. So to me, if he has basically ghosted you 3 times, he's not that into you. I'm sorry. Okay. So you need to find someone who cherishes you, someone who sees you as their person, because that person is not going to ghost you. Okay. Just Blazing 94 says, is selling things that are gifts messed up, even if it's 7 to 9 gifts? Well, again, remember what I said earlier about intentions. How long ago did you break up? If you broke up a week ago and now you want to sell everything that you ever got from them, again, it just seems like an emotional reaction. However, if you've been broken up for a couple of months and you're like, okay, I really don't have any need for these items, I want to get rid of them and I can make money off of them, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead and sell it. But always remember, ask yourself before you do any of these things, what are my intentions? What am I trying to, why am I doing this? All right. Fitry something. I can't even say that name. But anyway, I've been in no contact. Let's see here. I've been in no contact for only 11 days, and my ex started to reach out, but I'm guessing he's still not sure about what he wants. I feel like 11 days is not enough time. What should I do? Well, what is he saying when he reaches out? What is he saying? That's a very important part of the equation. Is he asking to see you yet? 11 days is not a long time, but for some people, that's all it takes. Like, I've been without you for 2 weeks and it was a big mistake. For some people, they can turn around that quickly. I'm not saying you take them back that quickly, but what is he saying? What is he trying to see you? Is he initiating dates? If he's just talking to you, then yeah, he might be wasting your time. So you need to figure out quickly when you're texting him what he wants. If he doesn't get to the point quickly, you need to get out of the conversation. Hey, great to hear from you. I gotta go. I got my family in town or something, right? Oh, I gotta go. I'm going to the gym. Great to hear from you. Keep in touch. All right. Give him an opportunity to say what his intentions are. But typically, if he has intentions, he'll get to it within the first couple of messages, you know. But don't sit there and talk to him all day long. Nick Crawford says, my ex broke up with me. She said I wasn't there for her. That is true, but she jumped in a rebound and she been reaching out to me and coming to my house, but claimed to see the kid. Well, are those, so I'm going to assume those are both your kids. So obviously she has rights to see the kids. Maybe try to set up a time where she has the kids versus when you have the kids. But if those are not her kids and she's just saying, I want to be a part of your children's life, you need to tell her to go focus on her new boyfriend. So that one's a little complicated, but ultimately, if those are her kids, make some time, make sure you guys have an agreement on custody and whatnot. But you shouldn't be talking to her whenever she wants when she's in a new relationship. Not at all. You're making it too easy and comfortable for her. Let's see here. Latina says, I was in a relationship for 18 years. 5 days before Christmas, I found out he was cheating on me with his cousin's wife. Wow. Yikes. Okay, I'm dead. I caught myself chasing him. What do you think? Well, stop chasing him first and foremost. Secondly, I don't know him personally, but obviously that speaks to a lack of integrity. I know you guys were together for 18 years, so I'm not sure that's your husband, but that is a tough one. But ultimately, he should be doing all of the work. He's potentially damaged two families, not only yours, but his cousins, right? And who's to even say all the people that his cousin is connected to and how he's affected those relationships as well. So this is a guy that potentially doesn't have any character. I'm not going to tell you to just jump ship, but if by any means there's a chance of fixing things, he better be doing all the work. So do not chase him, my friend. Not at all. All right, let's see here. D Will. I can't remember the context, D Will. Let's see here. D Will says, I apologize and did everything I can. We broke up through text. She's hurt because I left her before in the past. I packed my clothes and left for 1 hour, came back, paid January bills in some February. No contact for 2 weeks. What was D Will's? Oh, D Will took away his other questions. Let's see here. D Will, send me an email because I just lost all the context of what came before the super chat. I can't remember, like you did something wrong to her, I'm guessing. And then she broke up with you, asked you to leave, you packed your clothes, and you paid January bills. I mean, if you guys are married, obviously you got to keep paying the bills until there's some kind of divorce. If you're not married and you were just her boyfriend and you broke up, obviously you shouldn't be obligated to pay all the bills. So there's got to be a conversation around that. But maybe I'm missing some of the context, D Will. I can't see the rest of your question. So shoot me an email this one time. Shoot me an email. Give me all the context and I'll let you know what I think. But don't delete your questions when you ask them, because I can't see all the context. All right, let's try to catch up. Let's see where I was. What is R? I already answered your question, R. What you mean? Okay, now I've lost. Now I just got a random because, yeah, I can't even find where I'm at with these questions. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna jump back in after this super chat. I cannot find your questions. Benita with the $10 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Benita. All right, let's see here. Let's just jump back in. Let's see here. Cherry Orchard says, now I apologize for dumping him after he introduced me to his family, which he was nervous about, but he didn't respond. Now back in no contact. Great. Stay in no contact. Oh boy. Yeah, let's just jump in. Questions all scrambled up. Next question is from Felicia Thomas. Says, I cut it off with him due to third party. He reached out 4 times for nothing meaningful via text. I have not responded. 2 months, no contact. He should reach out if he is serious about me, or beat it. Well, so it doesn't work that way for everyone. It doesn't work that way for everyone. When people dump you or they break up with you, a lot of times they may feel bad about what they did. And so when they come back, they usually gradually ramp up before they get into anything serious. So if he's reached out 4 times, obviously there's a lot of interest there, because someone who doesn't care, you just wouldn't hear from them anymore. So you shouldn't be ignoring him if you still have interest. He's not going to text you and say, I'm in love with you, I'm crazy about you. That's likely just not going to happen. Okay? So the next time he reaches out to you, you should respond. Let's see here. Madeline with the super chat. Thank you. She says, my boyfriend and I were together for 6 years. I cheated 3 years ago. He never got over it and began to hate me. I chased him for 3 years trying to fix us and be a good brother. Will he come back? So you haven't been together for 3 years, or he stayed with you after the cheating, and you chased him trying to be a good girlfriend, but he didn't accept you. I assume two things. So one, either not together for the last 3 years and you've been chasing him, which you should just keep on moving on with your life, or or you just broke up, and 3 years of the relation 3 years out of the 6 year relationship, you were chasing him, always trying to make things right, and he just broke up with you. If he just broke up with you, you have to go no contact, especially if for the last 3 years you've been chasing, trying to make him happy, trying to do things right. Go no contact today, and let's see if he has a change of heart. There's nothing you can do about the mistakes you made in the past. And if he stayed with you, that was his decision. So all you can do is start no contact now, and let's see if he comes around. Okay, next question is from Ricky Barron. Says, I started going to therapy to work on myself and my communication skills. He recommended that I go and see her and lend out my hand and say that I'm here for whatever she needs. That's terrible advice if you want your ex back. That is terrible advice. So here's the thing, okay? I'm all for therapy. I'm all for therapy if you want it. It's great for you to do to work on your mental health, absolutely. But if your desire is to attract your ex back, that's what I can help you with. If your goal is attraction, if your goal is to make someone desire you, being there whenever they want is not the answer. It does not work. That is terrible advice. Okay, so if you're talking to a therapist, talk about therapist type of stuff. I'm serious. Attraction is a lot more different than that, right? If that was effective, think about all the men in women's DMs saying, I love you. I would do anything for you. I would go across the world for you. It does not matter how you feel, or how much effort that you're willing to put into things, does not matter. If she's not feeling the feelings that you need her to feel, she's not going to want to be with you. So give her some space. Give her some space and allow her to reach out to you. If she's interested, she will reach out. Okay? So so you already did it. Let's see. Okay, this is a follow-up from Ricky. He says, um, she left me. She left me because she felt lost in life. Okay. She wasn't home, but her parents were home and were happy to see me and like my boldness. Will this sit? Will this sit with her? I'm guessing. Will this sit with her? Well, if you already went to her house, her parents saw you, you haven't heard from her, obviously it didn't work, right? It didn't work. So I would just stay no contact from now on. Stop chasing her. You've done enough. You've done enough. That was not a good idea to go to her house, especially after being dumped. Okay, let's see. Next question is from Steve Kodgley. She said she guys, type these questions well. She said we can rekindle our friendship, but I'm just so tired of only texting for 3 months now. Why are you trying to be her friend, dude? You should absolutely not be her friend. You deserve to be with someone that wants to be with you. And you can't backdoor into a relationship. If she's telling you that she wants to be friends, you need to say no and walk away. Being friends does not get you to the goal that you want. And it's not even a selfish goal. You want passion. You want someone that you can build a life with romantically, not another friend. So you should absolutely not agree to friendship. Let's see here. Nor Fadila says, my ex left my last message unread. Does he really left me? Okay, he left me. Did he really leave me? Okay. We've been in no contact for 1 week plus now. Yeah, if someone leaves you on red, take that as clear communication that they do not want to talk to you right now. Let's see here. Okay. We're just going to do random. So, okay, so we're going to do a couple more questions, okay? I'm going to do random ones, but if you want to jump the line, you can make a donation and I will definitely get your question. But I appreciate, there were so many questions and I got lost in the middle of them. So I'm just going to do a random fire. I'm going to pick 3 random people. I'm going to do questions from them. But if you want to make a donation and skip the line, you can go ahead and do so. All right, let's see here. First random person is Vinny. Vinny, that's not a nice thing to say. So we're going to skip Vinny. Vinny's in the mood. What are you doing here, Vinny? Anyway, let's see here. Ms. Ade says, okay, I need to see the first question. Okay, next question is from Amrito Chudari. Says, my girlfriend is stubborn. She broke up with me 3 months, no contact. What should I do now? I can't forget her. Every single time she's in my mind. Well, you don't get to be with her if she doesn't want to be with you. It doesn't matter how much you miss her. It truly does not matter how much you miss her, because if she doesn't want to be with you and you're trying to force things, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. So you need to leave her alone. You need to accept this. All right, let's see here. Bradley says, you never cover this topic. I watch every reel. What can I do if I got bitter with my ex? What do you mean bitter? What do you mean if you got bitter with your ex? What do you mean? So I'm going to guess that you're saying that you were mean, you were angry with your ex after she dumped you, or before? You were rude to your ex before she dumped you or after? Let's see here. Before she dumped you or after? Doesn't matter. She dumped you. If you said rude things after, obviously you shouldn't have said it, but that came from a place of anger and trying to force things. And now you're still trying to find an excuse to go force things, right? You've already said what you said. The best you can do, what you should have done then, is apologize. But my guess is you likely already apologize if you're asking these questions. I bet that you already sent the text message the day after or a couple of days after. Confirm below if you did or you didn't. Okay, let's do a couple more questions. The questions have been a little confusing, guys, here in these last couple of minutes. I don't know if, yeah, you've apologized, so there's nothing